something I can use. People love it when you lose. We are Jive Talkin. Boy, you hit the chair. Well, I'm in a situation, I can dance and sing. I just have to look good, I don't have to be clean. People love it when you learn about heavy metal jive talk. Jive 'em when it's up, jive 'em when it's down, jive 'em when it kick 'em all around. Let's jive. You don't know how freaking long that took me. Get yourself a Diet Coke if you know that tune. If you know a little fella, he was in a band called, it was named after a bird. The band was named after a prestigious bird. His first name starts with Dawn. Welcome, welcome one and all back to another stimulating episode 105. Jive Talking with Shane Diablo. We got your comments. We've got stories galore, and we're going to end up in Joe Elliott's hotel room. He wants to take us in. We're going to have a look around at the very end of this before we get to your comments. If you want to partake in the comment section of Jive Talking episodes, all you got to do is go over to the YouTube channel and watch the entire thing, and then put your comments in so you know exactly every nuance of what happened in that episode. Or you can watch and listen on Spotify any old time you want. Someone the other day said, Shane, it's not on iTunes. I don't know how to do that. It was very simple and easy for me to get it up on Spotify, but I don't know the process and the situations to get it on any of that other stuff. It's not any kind of brand loyalty. I'm not doing it to, spot it, you know. But welcome one and all. Before we get into this, I have a couple of things I wanted to talk about. One was about the hang loose sign. I'm not going to get into that one because when I was riding the bus home from work today, I saw this woman. And Cro-Magnon, slightly, you know, I mean, just there was something in her brow that said, oh, she's from, you know, millions of years ago. But what struck me was her haircut. She had a mullet. It was beautiful when she got on the bus. It was primp. It was really business up front, party in the back, because the front of it, I had never seen a straighter cut on bangs in my life. The only way I could equate it was to, what's his name? From the Three Stooges. Howard? Mo Howard? Perfectly cut in the front. And then when she got turned around, it was a complete disaster back there. I mean, there was leaves and twigs and it was a freaking mess. Some of it looked like it had mousse or gel in it. Some of it didn't. I don't know what the hell was going on, but it was so beautiful up front and then just shit in the back. So it really was a, party up, business up front and party in the back. Let's get into this episode. I literally got right off the bus and wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, in the door, sit down, let's go, party on. This is like a deep tissue massage to me. This is my quell it all or calm it all. This is really like my meditation when I get to sit down every week and do this. So let's get into it. You're looking at this guy right here. He's a bald fella. Yes, he is. No, that's not Jean-Luc Picard. It's the drummer, the former drummer, or the drummer. I'm not sure if he's still with him. I don't think he is for some reason, but this is Chris Slade. And he says, there are a lot of things left unspoken in AC/DC. So I wanted to see what he had to say about it. What does he mean by unspoken? Is he giving us some dirty laundry, perhaps? Or is he just kind of going to give us something? Is this light okay? Let's go for it. I don't want to look like I'm being under an investigation or something, You get that light right on you. So that's what I got is a little desk lamp there, but that's a little glare on my eyes. Speaking exclusively, and this was an exclusive conversation to Rock Candy Magazine as part of an in-depth 20-page AC/DC cover story analyzing The Razor's Edge. period of the band's history, drummer Chris Slade told writer Andrew Daly about the group's mysterious inner workings. And that's what twists my nipples right there. Inner workings. What I found out was that there are a lot of things left unspoken in AC/DC, explained the 77-year-old musician. Most of what's said between Angus, he's a guitar player, the main guitar player, dresses up like a little school guy, little school chap as we call him, and Mal, which is, my loving phrasing name for Malcolm Young, who's, rest in peace, passed on, isn't said. They don't talk. They didn't need to talk. Slade was new into the band before the recording of The Razor's Edge. That's the one that has thunder on it. I know the song Thunderstruck, but I'm not sure of what's on The Razor's Edge. Razor's Edge in 1990, he found that things were left unspoken in his audition too. Malcolm and Angus set up chairs, watched me playing the whole time and said nothing, absolutely nothing, he recalled. After they asked me if I wanted anything, I asked for a cheese sandwich and a coffee. And that was it. I was an AC/DC. I mean, you think that they would say, you're in, but they're cool guys, right? They don't need to, they just give him a pat on the back, a pat on that sweet Levi jacket there, and, The Welshman played on, does he know, what's that singer? Not unusual to be loved by anyone. He's Welsh. What's his name? Tony Robbins? The Welshman played on the Razor's Edge album and enjoyed 2 separate stints with AC/DC. He had previously been in Manfred Mann's Earth Band and The Firm with Jimmy Page. I didn't know that. But did he know that The Razor's Edge was going to be such a big album? Well, I didn't spot it. Sometimes you can spot it. Other times you can't. Sometimes you spot things and sometimes you don't. He admitted. I felt very much like that when we did the Blinded by the Light, wrapped up like a douche in another, what's that song? Blinded by, is that the song? Is that the tune from Manfred Mann? Blinded by the light, wrapped up like a douche, another runner in the night. Get in the comments and tell me if that's the case. But it wasn't that way with The Razor's Edge at all. I had no bleeding bloody idea that Thunderstruck, and Shane, you got it correct. You remembered. And I'm a little upset with you that you don't know the rest of the Razor's Edge record, but you do know that Thunderstruck was on there, and that's a cheerio to that. Was going to be an AC/DC. Thunderstruck was going to be AC/DC's biggest song ever. And I had no idea that we'd made a special album. Is that true? I mean, it's got to be up there, right? It's in the top 5. You can read Rock Candy's 20-page AC/DC special together with many other fascinating stories about Jesse James Dupree. Now, if I know who that is, that's that fellow with the chainsaw from what was the band? A band called The Almighty, Jim Valance, and Trust. Hey, we've done Trust on this channel. And more in issue 41 of Rock Candy. You can go to rockcandy.mag.com. This is just going to be about Rock Candy now. After his first stint, let's see, Rock Candy is 100-page. No, we don't want that. After his first stint with AC/DC, Chris Slade joined up with 1980s prog rock band Asia. Hey, the heat of the moment. Chris recorded with them on their 2000 to 2004 studio recordings, Aura and Silent Nation. Having parted ways with Asia in 2005 to pursue other musical ventures, Chris made an album with English power trio Damage Control, featuring Pete Way of UFO. This dude's played with some buddies, huh? And Robin George. Slade then worked with legendary guitarist Michael Schenker of UFO and MSG off and on between 2005 and 2010, as well as touring extensively worldwide. He later launched a new band called the Chris Slade Timeline. You're not going to crack 5,000 records with that name, buddy. to mark 50 years as a professional rock drummer. The Chris Slade timeline. So what he does is he has like it's basically a cover band, and he goes through and plays the songs the hits that he was on from all those bands, Manfred Mann and Asia and everything. Heat of the moment. You know, that's what he does in that band. So that's fine if he wants to call it, because it's about him, right? The Chris Slade band. Guess who's coming up next, guys? Blood and tears, blood and tears, since he begun, I hear you've been crying. That's right. It's our little Frankenstein pal. It's our little square-jawed buddy, Mr. Danny to the Isaac, Glenn Danzig. And you're going to be happy to know, as I did a little TikTok about this, that you can get if you're looking for Christmas gifts, you can get these Glenn Danzig DVDs. He did a spaghetti western. And we're going to get into this and learn a little bit about it. Here we go. Glenn Danzig's vampire spaghetti western, Death Rider in the House of Vampires. You want to talk about Mike B's movies that are not very good, or whatever he's calling that? B movies that are bad, but we love them anyway? This is bad. I'm telling you, it's really bad. Death Riders in the House of Vampires finally gets Blu-ray and DVD release. Here we go. Come on, guys. I'm going to get better at reading one day. I'm taking night classes. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, I let that pour right down my breasts. Glenn Danzig's homage to Italian spaghetti westerns and classic vampire films, Death Rider in the House of Vampires, has finally been released on Blu-ray and DVD. In a video interview, really? You know what's going to happen? The guy's going to put the video interview up on YouTube, and then his little crony is going to go over there and give him a strike on his channel and go, no, that video was for you to have at your own collection at home, like an old VHS tape. That wasn't for you to put on the internet. In a video interview promoting the 2021 release of Death Rider in the House of Vampires, Glenn was asked if fans can expect to see a sequel at some point in the future. He responded, "Oh boy, that's right. That's something I've been asked already informally. But yes, of course, if the movie is successful, there will be a sequel, for sure." Actress Kim, director of Blair Witch 2, The Deuce. Was that what that was called? Blair Witch 2, The Deuce? Or did she do something called The Deuce? I bet you more people will go see that movie if it was Blair Witch 2, The Deuce. You're like, what's that witch that's hiding in the corner going to do now? She's going to take a dump. And I will come back, and that's all I can tell you. What? There will be a sequel, for sure. Kim, director of Blair Witch 2, The Deuce, and I will come back, and that's all I can tell you. The other may or may not come back. If you do the sequel, you'll have to see it to see who doesn't come back and who comes back, or who doesn't come back. Oh boy! Death Rider in the House of Vampires was written and directed by Danzig, with Glenn also acting as the executive producer along with James Cohen, Bresac. The cinematography is by Danzig and Pedja Radnkovic. Rankovic. The film follows the Death Rider who travels to the desert vampire sanctuary ruled by Count Holiday. The price of admission, one untouched virgin. There is a lot of nudity in it. This isn't going to be one you sit down. You can get it as Christmas gifts for 18 up, okay? Because Danzig, he's going to have a lot of nudity in it, but still not a good movie. Death Rider in the House of Vampires stars Devon Sawa as the Death Rider, Julian Sands as Count Holiday, and Kim Director as Carmilla Joe. Those are some great names, right? Carmilla Joe. Joining them are Eli Roth as Drac Cassidy. So there's a name pop. Ashley Wisdom as Mina Bell, Victoria DiMatti and as Kid Vlad, Danny Trejo. There's another name. As Bella Latigo, and Danzig himself as the vampire gunslinger Bad Bathory. So he wrote, he stars, he directs, he produced, he does it all in this movie. Glenn told Rolling Stone about how Death Rider in the House of Vampires, it's a homage to classic vampire movies and, of course, classic Italian spaghetti westerns. I just mixed the two genres. I didn't think anyone would have done it before. Basically, the character Death Rider travels to the vampire sanctuary out in the middle of the desert, and then it all goes crazy after that. Asked if he wrote the Bad Bathory character for himself, Danzig said, I started writing the script, and I had these characters, and then eventually I was like, you know what, I could do this. And I wouldn't have to look for somebody, and we'd get out of it cheap, so cheap if I did it. So I didn't originally intend for me to be the character, but then I just started thinking about him. I thought about him every day and damn night. I thought about him when I was laying naked in my bed. I'll just do this one. It's not a big part. It'll be easy. I could still do the directing, too. I mean, Bad Bathory is the main character, right? He's the Death Rider. It'll be easy? I mean, I guess the Bad Bathory probably doesn't do a lot of talking. I don't remember him going, put him up, everybody. Shit, I'm going to blow your damn heads off. I don't really remember him. I mean, I'm sure he just pops in at the end of the movie. With directing, at least for me, you're involved in everything. People come to you with wardrobe, sets, casting, pre-production is insane. That's what a director is. Everyone comes to you. Everyone goes, what should we do with this? What do you want? Because it's your vision. They're trying to make your vision come to life. So they say, I think there should be some bloody margaritas sitting on the bar top. When Bad Bathory comes in, that's what they do. So they got to come to the director for that. The director's got the hardest job, though. I just want to make sure I'm like a real director and not like one of these Hollywood assholes. No, one of these Hollywood directors where somebody else will start the movie and then they take credit. He laughed there. Well, there you have that. So, Christmas gifts galore. We might have matching chins. My chin looks a lot like that. That's why I have to grow hair on my face there. It's just vanity. I have to cover it up. It's got all those little pop marks and crinkles in it. Does look like a 4-pack of muscles, though, doesn't it? He's a beefcake. He's like, I even worked my goddamn chin. It's got a 4-pack. There's Davey Mustaine there, and he says that we're going to just get into this really quick. I'm hoping that it's got the bit about Kiko in there where last time we spoke, he was taking an extended stay away, but now he is out. Timu is going to continue on. Or maybe we talked about that last time. I can't remember. Megadeth, Mean Man, Dave Mustaine has no interest in making a concept album. I think it's a little limiting. See, guys, I work so hard for you that I start snotting myself up. This is like the second episode where I've snotted up. In a recent interview with Heavy Consequence, Dave Mustaine of Megadeth, which has released a multi-part short film about the origins of the group's mascot, Vic Rattlehead, that's interesting, was asked if he has any desire to make a concept album in the future. He responded as transcribed, "No. I've never been interested in doing concept records. I think it's a little limiting. And to take an idea and to beat the shit out of it and make 10, 12 songs of it, I've got way more to write. Dave continues. When you have so much music to write, why have you so much music and not lyrics to balance that out? If you truly are a songwriter, you should be able to do both. A lot of people here, even today, are musicians only. They're not songwriters. And some of these people, they're songwriters, and bands aren't songwriters. What? And some of the people that are songwriters in bands aren't songwriters. So, it's always a treat to be able to see people that are masters at their craft. He's talking about King Diamond. He can write a concept album. How about Pink Floyd? They can write a concept album. Get in the comments and tell me more great concept albums. Megadeth played its first concert with new guitarist Timu Montessori on September 6th at Revel in Albuquerque, New Mexico. 36-year-old Montessori was born in Tampere, Finland. Montessori stepped into Megadeth as the replacement for the band's longtime axeman Kiko Loureiro, who announced in September that he would sit out the next leg of the Megadeth Crush the World tour in order to stay home with his children back in Finland. Another thing that I noticed in an update just like today was Kiko said something that was very ominous, and that was, I chose my family and freedom. And I was like, that's very interesting that he would use that word freedom. Was Dave being a little ding-dong to you? Loureiro officially joined Megadeth in April 2015, about 5 months after Chris Broderick exit from the group. In addition to Mustaine, Montessori, Megadeth's current lineup includes former Soilwork drummer Dirk Verburen, and the wonderful and delightful and always fantastic bass player James the freaking man Lomenzo. Can do no wrong in no one's eyes. You saw how easily he picked up that Megadeth gig and just ran with it. He says, easy for me. Easy. I'm James Lomenzo. It's easy. What's this about Grammys? Megadeth received its 13th Grammy nomination for Best Metal Performance. They always give you that. For the song We'll Be Back. From the sick, the dying, and the dead. Megadeth won the 2017 Grammy Award for Best Metal Performance for the title track of the band's 2016 album Dystopia. This marked the group's 12th Grammy nomination in the category, including nominations in the discontinued Best Hard Rock Metal Performance. See? They're just wiping it out. Oh, what's this? Who's that? It's freaking James Lomenzo sitting next to this guy. Dave Mustaine. Can we hit this without a commercial or something?
Hey, this is James Lomenzo.
And that's all we need.
Dave Mustaine, and we're from Megadeth, and you're watching Heavy Consequence.
And you're watching Heavy Consequence. Isn't that right, James? It sure is, Dave. It sure damn ding-dong is. No, this is not the Unabomber. No, it is not this next story that we've got up. It says vintage 1953. Is that when he was born? I don't think so. Probably earlier than that. But this is Don Man Dokken. Says he's picked the actor who will play him in the upcoming Dokken movie. And he said it was going to be on Netflix. Didn't he say something about it being on Netflix? I want to say that. Let's see what he's got to say about it. In a new interview with Steve Mascord of White Line Fever, Dokken frontman Don Dokken spoke in more detail about the movie that Netflix is making about the band, apparently to be helmed by the same director that worked on Motley Crue's The Dirt. He said, as transcribed by Blabbermouth, oh no, that's Frankenstein, never. It happens in 1989. It takes place with 4 guys that are fans of Dokken, and they're following us around and they're trying to meet us. I think that's the premise of the movie. So we all had to pick an actor to play each one of us. They sent me like 6 people to choose from. They asked me, who looks like you? I go, none of them. Asked how he heard about the Dokken movie being made, Don said, they just called us and said, we want to make a movie about Dokken. And Jeff Pilson, ex-Dokken bass player, now he's in Foreigner, had to pick a character. And George Lynch, you remember him? He had to pick a character. And Mick Brown, remember him, the drummer? Because we don't look alike. They had to pick characters. Because we don't look like that, like we did in 1989 anymore. We all had to just pick the actor that would play our part. That was kind of weird. I wonder if you sit down and watch that. I wonder if Motley Crue sat down and watched The Dirt. I'm sure they have. Nikki Sixx has. But I wonder how that would be to sit down and watch a movie about you. You know, is Netflix going to do one on Judas Priest? They going to do one on Iron Maiden? Is this going to be a new thing? Are they going to start doing dumb people that we don't care about? You know, other bands like, oh, here's this band. I was going to say Kajagoogoo, but fuck that. I like that song. Too shy, shy, hush, hush, how do I think that's the only hit they had. Don went on to say that he hasn't seen the script for the movie. I just picked up my character and said, run with it. You picked him up? I just picked my character and said, run with it, he explained. They started that when COVID hit, and then the movie industry kind of shut down. When Mascord suggested to Don that the release of the movie may result in a renewed interest in Dokken, similar to the way The Dirt led to Crue announcing a stadium tour less than a year after the film's arrival, Dokken said, yeah, maybe. We will make some new fans. It depends if the movie's good. Asked if the Dokken film would be released in theaters or it will be on streaming service, Don said, I wish I could give you all these answers, but I don't have any. They just told me they want to make a movie. And they're also doing a documentary about us. So I had to go to LA and I went to the Whiskey A Go-Go and they filmed me, interviewed me, asked me questions about the scene back then. I personally didn't understand that because it's probably not a documentary directly about Dokken, but possibly the scene that was happening, Don. Because I think there's been so many documentaries about the whiskey and the rainbow, and back in the day, in the 80s, when girls had the big hair and the mini skirts and push-up bras, I just reiterated what I'd seen. They just thought, do you have any stories we don't know about? And I said, yeah, I do, but I don't think I should tell you them. Asked if Dokken documentary will cover any of the drama and infighting that happened within the group that ultimately caused the breakup of the band's classic lineup, Don said, I don't know. I really, really am in the dark. I'm trying to tell you this. God damn it. I am really in the dark on this. Yeah, I mean, it was probably the main reason Dokken broke up, because you've got 3 guys doing massive coke. I don't do coke, so I was kind of the odd man out. A lot of drinking, a lot of partying, and actually I was getting down because we were getting so close to like being at the top, being a headliner band. And then I just couldn't save the band. I couldn't save it. I couldn't save it. It was depressing. It made me sad. You start a band, you work your ass and tits off your whole life playing bars and backyards, and then you're trying to keep yourself going. I mean, you look at Metallica's movie. When they made the Saint Anger album, look, they almost didn't make it. They had a therapist. That movie, a therapist in the studio every day. Some Kind of Monster, have you seen that? It's on Netflix, where our movie's going to be at. And they actually showed a therapist talking to them. I mean, a therapist was right there. And they are arguing, and then Jason Newsted left the band, and they laid it all out there. Crew members, Nikki Sixx and Tommy Lee, have repeatedly said that the aforementioned 2019 biopic The Dirt about Motley Crue's formative years sparked a renewed interest from younger fans who wanted to see them live, contributing to the band's decision to re-engage on its infamous... Oh, was that? On its infamous cessation of touring contract. That's right. So they signed, for whatever reason, publicity stunt or something, was it? They signed a contract that basically said they wouldn't do it. They all won't go touring anymore, and then they all got back together to put it in one of those shredding machines. Okay, guys, let's do it again. After vowing in 2015 never to play together again, Crew announced in December 2019 that they would be touring in 2020 with fellow hard rocker veterans Def Leppard and Poison, whom very shortly we will be going into Joe Elliott's hotel room to see what he's got going on there. Really quick with Tim the Ripper Owens here. Do you know him? He's got a pretty good sound piece of advice for young musicians. You have one job to do, and that is to blow people away. And he's not wrong. You want to make it? You want to make it in the big leagues? You want to be with the big boys? You got to have the best guys in your band. Can't have doubts about any of them. You got to go in there going, this is the best. If you're in a shitty part of town, got to leave. You got to go where the action is. You got to be loud. If you're in a band and you go, well, we don't want to overdo it with the social media posting. What you do is you fucking overdo it. Believe me, hear me now, believe me later. Post and post and post and do everything. Let me tell you about a little band called Five Finger Death Punch that was an independent band, and those guys molested MySpace. You couldn't go anywhere. Because remember, when back in the day on the MySpace, if you were old enough to remember that, you could put some HTML code or whatever in a comment on people's pages, and it would put up a flyer. So it'd say Five Finger Death Punch. And you could literally click that flyer and it would take you over to their profile page. And everywhere you went on MySpace, Five Finger Death Punch was there. And you got so irritated, you're like, what the hell is this band doing? Well, now they've sold millions of records. So when you feel like, too much promotion, we're promoting too much, you promote 5 times more. Okay, here we go. In a recent interview with we've heard about Polna Kulturek, from Judas Priest and current KK Priest singer Tim Ripper Owens, was asked what advice he would give to aspiring vocalists and other metal musicians looking to break into the music biz. Oh, he's going to hit him with a funny first. He says, pick another career. Pick another career, buddy. You have one job to do. If you're a new musician or a new singer, and that is to blow people away. Your job is to go on stage, especially live, and sound like you did on that record or better. That's a subliminal message he's given there. That's your job. It's not to drink beer. Your job is to blow people away. And there's nothing better for a musician, a young musician, or any musician than to see the reaction of somebody's face out there in the audience when you are delivering it. When you're bringing it out. So that's your job. Everything you do, you goddamn son of a... If you're a musician, you should only worry about promoting your band. What's that? Give it to me one time. Timmy Rip Owens. What did you say? We repeat it? You should only worry about promoting your band and delivering the best performance you can. This man has wisdom. And you might say, I've got a little bit too. Asked if he would say the live performances are the most important thing. Would you say that? I'm Pelna. Would you say that? Live performances are the most important thing. Would you say that, Mr. Owens, Mr. Ripper? I think so. I mean, you can make a great record, and you don't have to go up on stage, and it's not the stage show to me. It's not running around the stage and getting crazy. To me, it's just looking like you want to be there and sounding great, or at least wanting to sound great. You've got to try. And to me, that's the biggest thing. I want to hear somebody that sounds good on my ears. Earlier this year, Owens reiterated his comments to singing all songs like they were originally recorded, whether it's material from his former band Judas Priest or his new project KK's Priest. He told DJ Ramo, aka Omar Rodriguez, of the Metal Mixtape, everything you hear on this record, I can sing live. I'm so sick of watching singers, and I don't care, I'm 56, and I've seen singers in their 50s that still couldn't do it. I'm so sick of watching singers. I know they can do it. I know that they can do it deep down in. But they change their songs. They lower it. They lower the tuning. They make new melodies. And they hit a high note for a second. And it's like, dude, sing what you wrote. Sing what you wrote. I understand it gets tougher. But I can sing sermons of the sinner. And these songs that KK's Priest songs are hard to sing than the classic Priest songs, except maybe Metal Meltdown. I pride myself on whatever I did in the studio I can do live. I mean, listen. We open out of the gate with Hellfire Thunderbolt. And if anybody heard it from these concerts, it goes Hellfire Thunderbolt into one more shot at glory. I sound like I'm lisping. Am I lisping? I feel like I'm saying them. Maybe Purple Nurple over here. Blow the man down. And they sound like the record. One more shot at glory, and they sound like the record. I mean, close to the record, okay? Not quite like the rockin' record, but very, very close. And that's the other thing about doing these vocals. 1 minute, I want it to be aggressive. 1 minute, I want it to be high and clean. I want it to be soft, tender, and beautiful. But I can do all of that live. And then he lists off some songs that he thinks are great to do live. And that he loves these songs. The Sinner Rides Again, Sermon of the Sinners, One More Shot of Glory. I think, isn't that a Steel Panther song, One More Shot in the Glory Hole? Reap the Whirlwind, that's another favorite of his that he loves to sing all the time. Strike of the Viper. He loves to sing. Those are the top tunes that he loves singing all the time. Live, that he can do, and he can do it perfect. I mean, man, they sound great freaking live. They sound so good, man. They are unbelievable. We got a little bit, let's just a little tad more, and then we're going to sneak into old Joe Elliott's boudoir. Regarding what he does so that he can perform those songs faithfully, Owen said, listen, I don't warm up. It really starts with you. Are you good live singer or not anyways, ? There's songs I've heard recently that it sounds so manufactured. Not that it's a bad song, and it sounds great, but it doesn't even, I could just hear where it's pieced together and hear where it's auto-tuned. And it's like, you're not going to sing it live. You will not be able to sing that song live. I can tell you that right now. There he is, microphone in hand, right out to the face saying, listen here, son of a bitch, you be you, you do you. Now let's see if Joe Elliott does us. Look at that, that's creepy already. He's like, hello guys, welcome to me hotel room. Don't mind all the toys I've got on me bed. Let's see. Beautiful.
Captain Slug.
Ha!
November the 13th, 2023, Melbourne, Australia, as you were just seen out of my hotel room window. This is the bedroom. This is my room. I don't normally invite people into my hotel room.
You liar.
I'm a married man.
No, you're not.
But just because we are finishing an 18-month tour,
Uh-huh.
I just thought I'd show you how we live when we're away from home. This is the bedroom. And as you can see, I bring my own pillow. Yes, I do.
No, you don't. Does it got the logo on it?
Fucking hotel pillows suck. They're
Everyone
crap.
loves an Irish boy.
So I don't get bad neck ache. I bring my own pillow. It does actually say, look, everyone loves an Irish boy. Now, obviously, everybody knows I'm English, but
He's got the gals hiding in the bathroom.
Heritage.com, I'm 24% English and 25.5% Irish. So I actually don't mind carrying that around because technically...
Enough about your damn pillow. I want to hear you show us the toys on the bed or
I'll show
something.
you everything else. This is the lounge. And as you can see, it's set up for me.
And bear in mind, this
My
is
craft
his
because
room.
I'm
He's not
comfortable.
sharing it with Rick Allen.
Def Leppard book. I'm taking one home. It weighs about 60 pounds. So that's in one suitcase with a few bits and bobs. All this is my swag from Japan. CDs.
He's got swag from Japan.
And here is my recording studio. Look at this.
That's where he put. That's where he put. When you make love, do you look in the mirror? That looks damn like my laptop. Do me and Joe Elliott have the same laptop? Holy shit. It's almost like I could reach right through the screen and
This is my
finger it.
Pro. This is my iPad. These are my headphones.
Has he got a
And this is
podcast?
a microphone that not only do I record my radio show on, I
Oh, he's-
sung this guitar on this very laptop.
Wow.
Down in our Halos on.
Okay, Joe, you're not showing us the goddamn room. You're showing us all your rich boy gadgets. I've had enough of that. We're moving on. It is time for your comments. That's right, my favorite part of the show. We get down there, we read your thoughts and opinions. You've taken the time out of your busy life, your busy day, to come over and watch this entire thing from minute 1 to the very end, and then place your comments down there. And for that, I thank you. Mike Buchanan coming up first. Oh boy, have I hit probably the greatest movie that are bad, but we love them anyways. Some consider this movie as one of, if not the worst movie ever made. But for me, it's a staple at Christmas time. Uh-oh. Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, 1964. You like them really old ones, right? When do you get into the color? Is 64 they got color by then? Much like watching Rudolph every year, I watch this movie. There's a couple of trivias about this movie. First, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians is the first time Miss Claus makes an appearance in a motion picture. Wow. Ever, right? This movie was released 3 weeks before Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the animated thing that I've watched 100 billion times. Second, this movie features Pia Zadora, cute as a whip. Not at age 10. She's age 10 in this movie. But I kind of had a little crush on her when she was older, of age. In her very first movie acting role, she previously did some TV acting. Now to get to the Martian kids to be more kid-like because all they want to do is watch Earth TV shows, the Martians are told by their elder to get a Santa Claus on Mars. So they decide to kidnap Santa and bring him to Mars, but they find many, many Santa Clauses. So they kidnap 2 Earth kids to help them find the real Santa Claus. Oh, Jesus, that sounds like it'll give me a headache. I'll let you watch to see what happens. One of my top 10 bad movies. Okay. Still Mike Buchanan here. Well, if any bands can still tour and fans will still show up, why not go out and make some money? As they are probably not making any money off of their music. And that's true. The streaming shits, they're not getting paid like they should. Still Mike Buchanan. Seems like Paul had the flu and is now back in action again. They just played in Chicago and are now down to the final two shows left. Oh my God. It's like December 7th or something is when it's over, huh? When you post the next Jive Talkin on Saturday, the final Kiss show will be that night at MSG. You can watch it on pay-per-view if you want to watch it. If it wasn't pay-per-view and there was any other way to do it, Amazon Prime for $5 or something, but I don't know. I kind of would like to, but the original guys aren't even going to show up at all. Since I'm not much of a fan of Dream Theater, I had no idea that Mark, and I do that too. I think his name's Mike Portnoy, but I call him Mark Portnoy, had left the band. So he had no idea. Well, he's back. While it's fun to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, how they go about inducting and who they induct has its problems. There are plenty of pop artists that are inducted. Ozzy really needs to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and his career as a solo artist is way bigger than it ever was with Black Sabbath. I agree 100%. I also heard Free and Bad Company are not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. How the hell is that possible? Fucking Bad Company? They're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Fucking nuts. Still Mike Buchanan here. Mr. Belladonna's Journey cover band Beyond Frontiers hit the road this year for a short tour this past summer, fall. Is there anything he can't sing well? Yeah, he can sing it all. Was that Burl Ives that used to sing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Ring? In those animated... Was his name Burl Ives? I was going to say maybe Joey Belladonna sings some Burl Ives. Burl, whatever. And now, Jive Talkin' Jokes of the Week. My wife shouted at me, "You really have no sense of direction, do you?" I said, "Where did that come from?" My wife was getting really mad at me and told me to stop doing my terrible Arnold impression. I told her, "Don't worry, I'll return." Okay, I got a joke really quick, and I wrote it myself, and I made it up today. So here's the joke, and then we're getting back to Mike Buchanan's. Why did the painter finish the painting before he started on his new canvas? Oh, God. Never mind, guys. I just goofed it. Okay. What's the thing about between easels? Never mind. Forget it. I ruined the whole damn thing. That's why Mike Buchanan does the jokes around here. My wife was getting really mad at me and told me to stop doing my terrible Arnold impression. I told her, "Don't worry, I'll return." We already did that one, I know. My brains are shit. After kissing my wife on the couch, I was going to say the coach. He was having a three-way with the coach. After kissing my wife on the couch, she said, "Let's take this upstairs." I said, "Okay, you grab one end and I'll grab the other." They were going to take the couch up there. And finally, you've got to make it fun. That's how you make a marriage work. You make it fun. Every morning I wake up, I lean over, I kiss my wife right on the forehead, and I say, "Good morning, Susan. I want you to have a wonderful day." And it's fun for me because her name is Amy, but it makes me laugh every time. That's good. Bang. And this dude's got 2 replies and a thumb. RB87 says, "Your intros are the best. Olivia would be proud." Ding, 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 ding. There's your heart. That's correct. Olivia Newton-John, we did. Is it called Magic? I think the song's just called Magic. Go listen to that. It's not heavy metal, okay? But you can take a break for a second and go listen to one song, can't you? I kind of stumbled across this whole crew of super metal heads. And they are very, they like particular style of metal. And you're a fucking loser, poser. And I'm just like, wow. You know, they really get into it, and they don't like anything. I mean, the one guy was calling him crap Talica and Wimpadeath or something. I don't know. It's like, wow, okay. He's a pretty funny guy, though. But, I mean, I don't know. Oh, Magnus is coming in here. You want to go in soft, and as you gain kind of more footing with the boys, then that's when you get erect. Yes, that was a little remark I made in the last episode. Bingo, Magnus, there you go. Oscar coming in. Rumor has it the star child didn't have the flu, Shane. He had food poisoning and became ill from grilling that marinated chicken a few years ago while on a 10-day break from that tour. Yes, Oscar's good. He's doing a throwback to one of my video autopsies, I believe, where we watch Paul Stanley in the kitchen cooking. You know the poultry from that housewife show before The View airs. Okay. You're great, Oscar. Oh, Oscar's down here again. He's got another one. Miss Althea coming in. She's got some stuff. Opening theme. She's talking about the opening. I knew immediately you were giving a nod to the beautiful Olivia Newton-John's magic from the movie Xanadu, which is always a fun watch. I think I still have the 45 RPM single somewhere. May she rest in peace. Yeah, she gone about, what was it, just a few years? Miss Althea, on an unfortunately related note and topic of the Thanksgiving 2023, not to bring down the episode or this whole channel, but my father passed away on Thanksgiving Eve. Oh, man. Succumbing to a long battle with cancer, so the holiday was very bittersweet this year. Oh, Miss Althea. So you better get down there and get some hearts and comments and shit in there. I'm sorry to hear that. Long battle with cancer. I mean, it's just... well, rest in peace, dear, sweet Miss Althea's dad. However, my mom, Den, and I took comfort in knowing he is finally at peace, yes, and we carried on with the football, pumpkin pie, and hazelnut coffee as he would have wanted us to. He was a jovial, gregarious, well-loved man. That's wonderful. That's good. You know, and you want to, you know, what did Peter Still say about, you know, typo negative singer Peter Still? He says, don't come dressed in black when you're at my wake. Don't go there to mourn, go to celebrate. Right? So there you have that. Miss Althea on Phil Anselmo. I am not well read on Pantera by any means, but shouldn't his statement have really been, I know damn well Vinny and Dimebag by proxy? Sounds like the blessing came from the respective estate and not from the deceased either, via psychic medium or Ouija board, correct? Unless either of those guys had wills that specified their wishes for the band. Yes. You can always bring them back. You watch the paranormal shows and they bring out a Ouija board, they're getting something. Something's coming around. Miss Althea on Paul Stanley. While the current incarnation of Kiss means nothing to me, I certainly would never wish any ill will on Paul. The flu can be very dangerous, and I am hoping he will not try to do anything he shouldn't be doing, or else he may find himself reunited with Eric and Mark St. John. Do I remember Mark St. John passing away? Kiss is scheduled to play in my area, Baltimore, on Wednesday, November 29th. That was yesterday as of the recording of this. And Dan received an invitation to go from a friend who ended up with an extra ticket. I will be enjoying some quiet time alone at the house. Thank you. That is, unless Paul's health has not yet improved and the show ends up ditched. You're just wanting a little you time, so you're going, please, Paul, please. I'm giving you good health. Get out the chakras, the sage, get all the crystals out, get everything out. Say, Paul, Paul, Paul. Miss Althea on Ozzy Osbourne. I have to say I agree that he shouldn't, but that he should definitely be recognized independently for his solo work, regardless of my feelings on how muddled the definition of rock and roll has become with that particular Hall of Fame. Yes. I am pretty confident he would have never become a household name had he spent his entire career with Sabbath. I agree. But most singers, they always get that pleasure, don't they? They quit a band, and a lot of them, Corey Taylor, they just shoot, I mean, not saying he quit, but a lot of singers can just shoot off and go solo, or, oh, it's that guy from that band. It's harder for other musicians, unless you're a songwriting, a great kick-ass drummer, and you got to be really good these days. Or you're a riff meister. You can come up with a Gary Holt, let's get that guy in the band. Guys that can write riffs. I am pretty confident he would have never become a household name. Yes, Sabbath. Miss Althea on Joey Belladonna. Why isn't he in Journey? Like, officially. He sounds amazing. I can tell you right now, that is where Joey Belladonna wants to be. If he could be in the tender arms of Neil Schon, gently bouncing down the freeway. Highway round to the midnight sun. If he could be sitting there on the couch next to Neil Schon in that tour bus, by God, he would be doing it. Miss Althea, Mike B's best bad movie recommendation yet. Hell yeah, Godzilla. The original franchise was a huge part of my childhood, and it remains near and dear to my heart to this day. Den got me a box set, but it is packaged like a book with super cool artwork of all 15 Showa era movies. Showa era. Oh. For my birthday a couple of years ago, and I cried tears of joy. I said, oh, God damn it, Den. Did you just get me this, Den? Get over here for a deep kiss. That's right, Den. A fun tidbit about Godzilla versus Megalon for all you guys out there. In the truck scene after Roku-chan and Goru are taken hostage, you can spot American Playboy centerfold posters behind the kidnappers, uncensored on the DVDs. That would have had every kid in the world watching the Godzilla movies going, yeah, I needed it just for that scene. Uncensored on the DVDs and streaming service, e.g. Tubi. Miss Althea, did we go over EG and what that means? And what I feel like we've been over this. I know it's ergo, but I feel like we like many long times ago I asked about that and you gave me an answer, but I've forgotten it. But blurred when shown on television. Details on who those particular centerfolds were can be found in the trivia section from the film on IMDb. Wow. Miss Althea, a heart. I would give you a thumb, but if I give you the thumb, then you'd be like, oh, you're giving me the thumbs up, like thumbs up, my dad's dead? Up yours, you bastard. So I'm just going to give you the heart there, and we wish you all the best. We love you. Oscar's back. I've said it before, and I feel... Am I spitting? I feel like I'm sloppy with spit, man. Got to go to that big fancy broadcasting school. I've said it before and feel the need to say it again. Vinny and Diamond, thank you, are still rolling over like rotisserie turkeys in their graves. Rolling like a rotisserie chicken because of their sadness about the situation. Specifically, shame on and fuck Zach. Shame on and fuck Zach, a.k.a. Jeffrey, his birth name. From participating in this shenanigan. He's got strong feelings about it. He's with Vinny and Diamond. And I don't care what Diamond's fat girlfriend... Oh, my heavens. Oscar, what are you doing? And I don't care what Diamond's fat girlfriend or whoever in charge of whatever estate blessing, quote, quote, blessing, is given. It's a money grab by everyone. You're gonna, like I've said before, you're gonna know that it's a full-on money grab when they release an original tune. Charlie Benante, Zach, Phil, and Rex, we went back in the studio and we thought, what the fuck, let's give it a try. So here's a tune. That's when it's like, oh, no, you didn't. Do one or a few concerts for donations on a slide scale. Fuck Anselmo and his lies. My God. He's very passionate. Oscar's a very passionate person. And I don't discriminate. Rex needs to gain 30 pounds. Either start pounding some beers again and or eat pizza every day. Every time the camera is on him, he reinforces our stereotype of white guts without an ass. Did you mean guys? White guys without an ass? I got an ass, honey. I got a big, juicy, round apple bottom, pal. So, but then again, I've got the 30 pounds that Rex needs. So did you mean white guys without an ass, or do you mean white guts without an ass? Because I kind of like that better. There's your heart. Good job. And we got our buddy White Bread to round it out. I do the newest, when I'm clicking these, because before some weren't showing up. And then someone said, when you hit newest comments, then they seem to show up or something. So that's what I've been doing. And White Bread, he's at the end. This battery is deathly low, guys. So I'm just telling you right now. We got one comment to go. I apologize, White Bread, if it dies. All these bands have to find ways to make new income these days, and reunions and tributes are a great way for them. Last in Line, Pantera, Van Halen, and I even heard a rumor that Alex and Getty were thinking of doing it with Rush. Yes, they are. Like they need the money. Yeah, it's true. They don't need the money, but they are. I've read articles where Getty, Lee, and Alex are in fact getting together to start working on new music, and they're going to figure out a possible drummer situation. I think it all depends on if you're a fan of the remaining members to support it. Very good. I was never a Phil Anselmo fan compared to Dimebag, so I'm not wasting my money on seeing it. Okay. I bought a music stick, electric toy guitar for my grandson. I'm getting all right at playing it when he's not. Would you ever consider doing a collaboration? All the money we would make could go to charity for senior rock stars to stop doing reunions and tributes. Yes. We can do it. We need someone to get one of them. You seen those horn things where you go, but you blow on it? It's not like a real horn. It's like a toy thing. Or one of those things you squeeze the mouth on it. Get a band going. And release some stuff. Okay. We're gonna go willy-nilly on this. We're gonna fire it off. We're not gonna be too picky. We're just going to do it. Come on. I like that one, but... East Coast girls are hip jive talking. They really like to listen. They really want to get to the hard rock, the bottom of the heavy metal news, motherfucker, yeah. Oh yeah, Jive Talkin with your friend Shane D. Have fun, sit back, relax your swollen feet. I used two fingers to play, two fingers today, two fingers today. Jive Talkin, my friends, we'll see you again next week. Last